basketball, like putting everybody in the right play. And it's not just me getting the shots. Like I had a lot of wide open shots today, but at the same time, I wanted to make the right play for the team. And if I was wide open, I'm going to shoot that shot. But if Brooklyn was wide open, like I'm going to give her the ball at the same time. Like it's just what's the best play for the team.
Jennie, I know that this can't be fully answered right now and probably not for a long time, but what do you feel like just in the short term this team learned from Monday's experience?
It's a really good question, and I don't know yet. I was really hoping that we would come out and just rebound the ball better tonight, and we didn't necessarily do that. So that's one thing that I was really hoping. I think probably, and that's obviously X and O standpoint of we got to guard team ball better. We left each other on islands in some actions against UCLA. I thought we recovered better here. I think we did that at the beginning. I think we learned in the game. I think we were able to make more in-game adjustments. I think, when you're playing a team like UCLA that has such a dominant center in Lauren Betts, and people do this against us with Reagan, they game plan. And so you throw a lot of different adjustments in that you have to practice. And to do that with a young team, that was a little bit harder than maybe I anticipated. If I went back, I think there were some things that maybe I would do a little bit different in terms of our game preparation for that, because I think we overloaded them. So I think the more simple that we keep the game right now, because that was the first time I was like, oh yeah, we're freshmen. And this is a big game to them, where to me, I'm like, here's the game plan. Like, this is what we do. You go, you know what I mean? And you go play and you just let it go. And I think there was a little bit more to that. So for us to learn that in November could have major benefits for us later on, that it's a game. And also, I think it'll help us as coaches to prepare our team for that next moment. And maybe we learn a little bit in that too.
Jennie, you got more production from your bench tonight.
Exactly.
Which you didn't get against UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
So do you see that bench coming along?
We're going to have to. Yeah, no question. I mean, how about Emma Tolan? I thought Emma did some really nice things tonight, and it was fun to just kind of be able to watch her. We were just talking about her on the radio and the things that she does so well. And, I thought Keziah Lofton, I thought she came in and she did some more things today. She was a little bit less kind of nervous. Brooklyn Stewart, I think, did too. And I'm really looking forward to watching Kaya Smith grow. Beatrice Culleton too. I mean, she got in a little foul trouble. I mean, it was a little different game, tonight than when the last game, where it's like she was physical the whole game. And so sometimes that's hard. You can't necessarily carry that over, and you have to learn it a little hard lesson. But, there's things I think that we're learning from that bench. But I also think, 25 compared to 4 is significantly different.
You talked about Emma and Keziah. They led the team in plus minus. I know they didn't stuff the stat sheet tonight, but what did you see from them on the defensive end?
Well, I think Emma's solid. Like, she just doesn't make mistakes. Like, she's not going to be flashy. She's just solid. She picks up on things really well. She just does everything that we ask her to do. I mean, I can ask her in practice to be a point guard. I can ask her to be a center. And she's like, yep, okay. And she just does it, and she knows it. And mind you, she wasn't here all summer because due to visa issues. And then, she had a broken thumb that she was coming back. She broke her thumb with her national team. And so she didn't really start practicing. So she just had to watch and learn. And I've just been really impressed with her ability to do that. So the it's a little faster pace here. It's a little more athletic here than it is in Ireland. But she'll catch up faster than we think. Keziah, I think, she's just learning so much. And I don't even think she understands how good of a defender she can actually be and how much we need that. And even just the rebounding, I saw her going after boards more. I saw her, she'd like to have a couple of those back on the defensive end, but when she really gets that aggressiveness like that and can rebound, we're going to be we need that. We just need it. And I know she's going to bring that.
Coach, you talked about Emma and Keziah, but, you get positive minutes from Brooklyn as well.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Aaliyah starts hitting shots tonight. You said that freshmen were going to have to be sophomores by January. How do you, I know it's an early sample size here, but how do you assess them throughout the first 3 games of the season so far?
I'm going to be honest. We're going to need more. And I mean that in a way of complete and utter confidence in them. I don't mean it like, oh, they got to produce more for us, but they have it in them. I mean, I get to see them in practice. I get to see the things that they can do. We didn't look at our game against UCLA and say, oh, we were close, we worked hard, nice try. It was, no, we didn't show up how we needed to show up. And we get to either learn that in November to teach us later, or we're going to be in trouble. And so you got to figure out, like, you don't really know how to coach people until you've really lived with them for a year, right? So it's their freshman year. But I'm not going to be easy on them. I'm going to really push them, and they're going to respond. They really are. And we're going to be better than sophomores by January. We're just not going to allow them to not be.
And Jennie, obviously it's a different game than Monday, but the turnover numbers a little bit higher today. Obviously, a lot of that was in that second half of the first quarter. What did you see there that maybe got out of sorts, and how did you feel like they responded the rest of the way?
I think we were forcing the ball, but we also were really bad receivers. We got to value the ball a lot more. We can't just, if it's not the perfect pass, who cares? Go get it. And we need to be better at covering for each other in those moments. That's part of our youth, right? But I think also they were guarding a post in a certain way, and so we were trying to get it into the post. Where they're just too lofty passes. They're quick, they're small, right? But they're really fast, and we just needed to adjust our passing angles.
Aaliyah, what's your perspective on that?
I feel like obviously like we did have some turnovers, but at the same time we're still learning at this. Like we're just learning how to get the ball to the post, and I feel like that's a big part of me just because like. It takes me a while to learn how they want the ball, because some people want bounce passes, some people want the ball up high, and I take a big accountability of that, just not like learning them fast enough. So I think there's some times that obviously I could have made a better pass, but I'm still learning at the same time, and it's gonna get better throughout our games that we have.
When you got four games in 8 days, just what does that do for a young team and for a team that hasn't played a lot together?
Yeah.
Mesh.
Well, I think it's also, look at how different each one of our opponents has been. And, and the game plan is different. And, these guys haven't scouted the way that you're trying to scout now either, when you're playing, just different styles and different teams, and understanding that there's game adjustments constantly in the game, and you have to talk constantly, and you don't get that choice. And, especially when I'm all over Aaliyah and Zaya Van all the time to make sure that we're on the same page. And so when we're not, they really have to take that responsibility and be able to communicate. And so I think there is a lot of teaching and learning right now. And there's, real minutes to it. A lot of times you can teach as much as you want in a practice setting, and you try to play in practice and you try to treat it as a game, but it's different. They prefer games. We prefer practice. So, but honestly, it's going to be fun to be able to have everybody here on Friday too. Now it's a whole different element. Now you're playing Oklahoma basketball. Like, of course, we're going to play a great opponent in North Alabama, and we'll get up and down, and it's a good game. But at the same time, like, these guys really get to have all these little girls watch them, and they watch them. They don't watch if they score points, and they don't watch if they do the right thing and make the right read. They watch their togetherness. They watch their high fives. They watch their pure enjoyment. They watch their teamwork. They watch their problem solving. They watch these empowered, incredible women really cheering on each other. So, like, when they can watch those kinds of things, a lot of times this is the first basketball game these young people have been to. This is the first college campus they've been to. So when you get to have those experiences, what a great environment that we're going to get to have. So we'll be ready for that game. We had a little rest today. Obviously there were some travel, things and all of that, but we'll be ready to play on Friday. But for a young team to be able to get this much experience this early, and variety of experience is, it'll be obviously very helpful for us.
Aaliyah, how tough is what Jennie's just talked about, the scout for a freshman? I know you played a ton of AAU ball in big games, but I don't know how much scout there was with that. So how difficult has that been for you?
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, it's nothing compared to obviously AAU, even high school. Like obviously I had a great coach for high school, and she was a McDonald's coach. Like she was done all this. So we did do a little bit scouting there, but it's nothing compared to like moving on to college and moving on with Jennie. Like we do a lot of scouting and just being able to be prepared for what's going to happen, because we are different players each and every game. Like we can't guard them the same every time. So it's a learning experience for me. But I feel like she's put a lot of pressure on me, but at the same time, I'm not taking it. I see that she trusts me and she just wants me to be a better player each and every day. And so, I just got to learn from it. But at the same time, I think I'm having a great time, like not a great time, but like a great experience of how I'm going to scout each and every game.
Anything else for about?
Well, I would say the pressure doesn't come from
It-
making
yeah.
baskets. The pressure
No.
comes from you got to be a leader.
No, yeah.
And I know you know that. I'm just letting them in on that too, because I think that's something that we're still, when you can have your point guards be your best leaders, then you're really going to go places. And she's got great leadership, and is with our junior and seniors to be able to really teach her how to do that. But sometimes then you try to not have your own voice because there's such strong upperclassmen. But they're finding that they don't get that choice. Boomer.
Everybody?
Thank y'all.